get the air, cool air going, breeze going through, and so you got a wind tunnel happening. But like my eyes, like I'm sitting here waiting with the lights on in front of me and waiting for our friend co-host Big Stu to jump on. He's just over there in Canada, over there in Texas, in Borger, Texas. He's got a store opening. It's late night on a Friday, so there's a customer there still. So he'll be in here soon. But while we're waiting for him, welcome to Toys Collecting Unboxing. This is our fourth or third one of the year, and we've decided to change things a bit different this year. We're going to invite podcasters who actually do their own shows. We're going to invite collectors, and we're going to actually invite stores from around the world as well. So we've already got like the next three sorted out for our next show. So every show going forward, we're hoping that we'll have a new guest on from around the world, like wherever you are. And if you're watching from anywhere in the world and you have a store, if you have a toy collection you want to talk about and bring to let us know about what you're collecting, let us know, and we'll send us an email. Emails, it's on our channel. You can find it there, and let us know that you're interested. And also, even in the chats, we leave it. In the description, we leave an email there so that you can say, hey, I'm interested in coming and checking out your show, or being part of it as well. So thank you for joining me today. It's beautiful Saturday afternoon, 2:00 New Zealand time, over in the Eastern time. What is it like? Yeah, Eastern time is around about 7:00, I guess, or 8:00 over there in America, right? So with that being said, we're going to go into looking at a podcast called Retro Days, right? Or a channel, I should say, where this gentleman is talking about the 5 forgotten toys of the 1980s, and I just came across and I thought that was pretty cool to share it. So if you guys want to check him out, give him a sub, let him know we sent you across, that you saw it here, and that 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 you heard about him through us, and check out what else he's got going on. And I think this is something that I'm really interested in, seeing what other people are creating as part of their videos, but also what toys they have, what is their favorite collection, what is that item in their collection that they that's part of their big hunts that they've been able to get. So let's watch this while we wait for our friend to jump.
It's your 11th birthday, 1980 something or other, and a mind-boggling assortment of wrapped packages are spread out on the table before you. Brightly colored paper and bows dazzle your eyes, and you can't help but imagine the endless fun you're going to have with all of these new toys. Still, somewhere in the recesses of your young mind, you acknowledge not every present is going to be a winner.
I did not have a He-Man toy, but we did have Atari at home, and the black one, right? The one you put the cartridge on and the little joysticks, like the square base, and the black, not even real rounded. It's like tri-shaped or something, like a square shaped. I think it was tri-shaped, kind of like triangle shaped. And my sister and I used to play it all the time. And so, Dad bought it for us and stuff. And so that was a big thing for us. The Atari kept us really, enjoying in the early years. And after that came VIC-20, then Commodore 64 arrived. And like I mentioned the other day, that I wish that I'd been smarter about these things, and I could have looked after them and made sure that Dad looked after them as well, because we ended up having in the shed at the back of the house, and it just didn't handle the weather.
Some of your friends' parents are out of work. Other kids are only there because your parents are friends with their parents. And let's be honest, a few of your buddies are real buttheads, and they're just there to mooch the free cake. In this video, we'll open those crappy presents together, and before they get tossed in the garbage, we'll play with 5 forgotten toys of the 1980s. After decades of restrictions preventing the airing of any programming based on a toy line, in 1983, the FCC reversed many of their decisions from a landmark 1969 ban. The floodgates had opened, and Mattel was first to rush through with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
We must stop his evil power.
By the mid-'80s, there was a seemingly endless stream of cartoons airing on television, each with their very own get-it-while-you-can shiny and new toy line. The 1980s became a golden age of consumerism and toy production, but with so many options, many were bound to disappear into obscurity. What follows are 5 of these forgotten toys, listed in no particular order. How many will you remember? Number 5 on today's list is Manglors. Manglors was a 1984 toy from
Did you have this too?
No, I never had the Manglors. I never, in fact, I never heard of them actually.
I think I might have heard of them or noticed,
Right.
kind of vague memory. I'm not sure if it was because of YouTube or something like that, but I think I noticed it being around sometime in the past.
Let me turn my volume down real quick on the radio.
Ideal, whose marketing strategy hinged upon the toy's ability to be temporarily destroyed. You can stretch them, squash them, take them apart, they'll return almost like new to their original form.
I did have one. I had one of those.
Slyly slipping the word.
You did.
I did have one, but it didn't come in an egg. Mine didn't come in an egg. It may have been a different line that came out later on. But the first thing I did was when I got it, I opened it up and I tore the arm off because it was the commercial telling you that you could do it. You can't do it. You ruin your toy right away. Never gets put
why would you tear the arm off your toy? Like, that's the really weird thing to do. It's like, okay, now it's like torn off, and what now?
Yeah. It was a
I can't play with it anymore. It's like a broken arm,
Yeah, I was very disappointed in it, but you live and you learn. I think it was the first time I realized, I think it was the first time I realized you can't believe anything on TV. I was like, I think I was 8 or 9 years old. Man, I lived in Fairbanks, Alaska at the time.
Yeah.
And I saw this commercial for this thing. It may have been this commercial. I just can't remember exactly. But I do remember them advertising that you could tear the arm off and put it back together and bend them all up. And, they were these monsters. And I begged my dad to get them one weekend. We went to this store and literally we got it. I got in the truck with my dad, tore that arm right off. Like I needed to try it out and immediately ruined the toy. It was done. After that, I didn't mess with it ever again.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a weird thing. It's like ripping apart a book. Like, why would you ruin something?
Almost into their commercial didn't save Manglors from being rated one of the worst Christmas toys of the year by the ADA consumer panel.
Yeah, that
Manglors were also rated as one of the messiest, along with.
You had this one?
The green one. I think I had the green one.
Right. So the Frankenstein kind of looking thing.
Yep.
Panel.
Sorry, I got all my
Manglors were also rated.
Had a busy day today.
That's all right. I'll play this through while you're.
It's one of the messiest, along with Baby Alive, a doll that routinely crapped itself.
I think I saw this.
The main selling point of Manglors was the ability to not only tear limbs off the toy, but also put them back together. Unfortunately, it was this second part of the process children quickly found nearly impossible, with the adhesive qualities of the product only lasting seconds after dismemberment. In most cases, children were left crying over a pile of detached limbs and torsos with no method to Frankenstein the pieces back together. Sucker Man comes in at number 4 on our list of.
I don't think I saw this one.
I don't remember that one at all.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange one.
Sucker Man.
Toys of the 80s. Like,
what was it? Sorry?
Sucker Man. Yeah, I've never saw it. If I did see it in the toy aisle, I would have thought it was like some sort of a knockoff thing that nobody would want. I would have never picked that up.
Yeah, and it's by Mattel as well, which is kind of even.
Mangalores, Suckerman was all about the toy's unique properties. They were stretchable figures that could be thrown against walls and stick before slowly descending, kind of like the little octopus toys we'd buy in 25-cent machines. Unlike the Mangalores, however, Suckerman did enjoy some longevity. Though usually remembered as a 70s toy, having first been released in 1978, many of us recall this suction-cupped oddity as it faded out of popularity in the early 80s.
On a place that
So it just feels like you use it to scare or prank people, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically aimed at boys to, you know, like you go scare people. Like, yeah, it's kind of. I like this
It looked
idea.
like a cool. It kind of looks cool with the way they're doing it, but I've never seen it.
smooth and slick, the suction cups will make him stick.
Inching into the number 3 slot, not unlike Suckerman crawling down a wall, we have Wheeled Warriors, a toy line inspired by an animated sci-fi series called Jace and the Wheeled Warriors. The series first aired on the French network TF1 and later came to the US in syndication. Although the series would have a complete 65-episode run, the toys weren't as lucky, topping out with a measly 13-item toy line. Though the vehicles were durable and easy to construct, a huge misstep in production left all the animated series characters off the set list. Instead of including the titular Jace with the toys, for instance, they packaged a generic set of figures called the Lightning League and Monster Minds Brain figures. Otherwise, Wheeled Warriors should have had a wide appeal with kids who enjoyed playing with vehicle-centric toys.
Yeah.
Our next pick comes soaring in at number 2 on our fingers.
It looks pretty good. I mean, like I was looking at this, like the design looks really good.
I remember
with the
those.
toys. Yeah,
I remember those under the Mattel offering as well. I think what was happening is because G.I. Joe and Star Wars had a lot of vehicles that were going on, so the kind of the toy play went to action figures going inside of vehicles and the vehicles flying away. I know G.I. Joe was first introduced as more of a vehicle-based toy line,
right.
and the figures were kind of secondary, but we wanted to make sure that we would have drivers for the vehicles or they could get into the vehicles. And they were this seems like they were trying to capitalize on that. I do remember the cartoon. I only remember seeing like 2 or 3 episodes of it when it first came out.
Right.
But I do remember the toy line. It was, I never got the toy because the figures were too small.
Right, because they do look really tiny.
Yeah, they were really small, and they probably scaled the same with Mask.
Yeah, so if you look at like here, I mean they're like really tiny. I think I've got a couple of figures like that. It's almost like a 2-inch figure if you just look at the size of the gun and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, if they had the main character and everything with it, would have been.
Our next pick comes soaring in at number 2 on our fingers. That's right. Ring Raiders were tiny airplanes that you wore on your finger with, you guessed it, an attached ring. Then you sort of, wave your hand in the air while running around like a sugar-fueled little psycho. If you were somewhat lacking in imagination, Matchbox sold the Blaster, a joystick that made sound effects, and the Skull Squadron base, which would allow you to launch your planes. It should come as no surprise at this point that the Ring Raiders had their very own animated series, which started with a 2-hour special produced by Deke Enterprises, followed quickly by 5 more half-hour episodes. The series is set in the far future of 1998 and follows the Skull Squadron, who are bent on world domination, of course. Oh, did I mention their planes can travel through time? Because their planes can travel through time. And since this is an 80s cartoon attempting to sell toys to kids, there has to be a band of good guys to fight the evil Skull Squadron, and the creators came up with the amazing, thrilling, and uniquely creative name, Justice Crew. Heard enough? Yeah, so did the kids of the 80s.
So I found like
coming in then at number 1 is Star.
I found an ad for it for that toy. So let me just bring that up because where are we here? So here we go. So this looks like it's an ad for it.
Quick, launch the Ring Raiders. When you You've got the Ring Raiders ready for action and the Battle Blasters strapped on. You've got a hot fighting machine in your hands. You can collect them all and kiss the skulls goodbye. Nice work, Ring Raiders.
Wow.
Three's not included. Squadrons of 4 and blasters sold separately.
So it's a match. Excuse me. So it's a Matchbox toy.
Right. So I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping real quick. I just want to let you guys know, Borger in the Panhandle of Texas has been very, very busy this week. We experienced the second largest wildfire in the United States history, and the largest wildfire ever to hit Texas. And it was right in my backyard. It's basically right in my area. So a lot of people in the surrounding area have lost their homes and whatnot. So this week has been kind of busy, and today was really busy because tomorrow I'm going to a free wrestling event, kind of to help with people that just want to kind of get away from the seriousness of things. I'm going to be donating quite a bit of my. I'm going to be donating some comic books, some cards, some toys for kids that don't have any, that lost everything. Adults lose stuff, and we understand that that's horrible. The only thing that I can offer is something for the kids, and we tend to forget that kids have toys, and it's devastating for them. So I'm going to donate a lot of comic books. Hopefully I can donate quite a few comic books, some toys out there. I know Hawk Sanders, our mutual friend, he's gonna let me donate some of the comic books that I have in the shop that he has. So kind of so we were really busy doing that, and reason I'm late getting on, the reason I'm I know I don't like eating in front while I'm doing the thing. I literally just stopped everything. I actually had somebody come in. Yeah, we had some donations for her, and we just had those come in, and she came in right as everything was supposed to be starting today. So I apologize for being late, but I just want to let you know that's kind of what's going on. So sorry for eating on camera, but
I mean, I know there was fire, but I didn't realize it was that major because there wasn't anything coming across, and I didn't realize because like we've had fires here as well down south, and there was one, there was couple up north as well. And it's because we're in summer, so we kind of like that whole idea of like sun hitting the something clear, and that sort of sets off and that could be that, or just somebody just being an a-hole and lighting dropping a match or a cigarette butt in the heat, and like next thing you know there's a huge firework. But yeah, it's not the best thing. I mean, like,
well, we were on Tuesday night. That's when everything was happening, Tuesday night. And all the roads going out of Borger were completely closed. If I wanted to leave Borger, I couldn't leave Borger, the city that I'm in, and nobody could come into us because there were literally fires crossing the roads. I have a police officer friend, and that was one of his colleagues was trying to come into town into Borger, and showing his badge, like, hey, I'm a police officer. I need to get to Borger. And the fire department's like, yeah, we understand, but the road's on fire, so you can't get past. I mean, it's been a pretty major event for us. So and I'm just really surprised not surprised. I'm just really proud of the community I live in, because they all really stepped up and helping the community. So it's kind of a cool thing that I live in this little tiny city, and they're doing so much for everybody. So I wanted to mention that.
Well, that's the thing about small communities is that they know each other and they know what the needs are and who's like it's like 5 degrees, 3 degrees of separation. Oh, that someone there needs that. Okay, can you help? That sort of thing. And a lot of people in the cities don't understand that. And I mean, because I come from a small village, tiny town myself, and so I understand how quickly people can actually help each other and come together when something happens. And that's kind of like a lot that's been lost, the village mentality, as we've moved towards cities more and more.
Right.
Yeah. So it's good to hear that folks are doing things to help the kids in this
Mhm.
a
Yeah, I
horrible
mean,
time, really.
it's not much. It's just, it's just something I wanted to make sure I was doing,
Yeah.
and being part of hopefully be part of the community. Hopefully people will, take advantage of it, But anyway, I just wanted to mention that, make sure people knew that.
Awesome. All right, let's head back to our next video on this thing from
Awesome.
Retro Days channel. 5 Forgotten. I think we're up to about 3
Yeah.
now.
Com, a sci-fi toy line that includes magnetic action figures and vehicles, allowing for interactive play in a space-themed setting. Yet again, we have a toy line that was promoted with a short-lived animated series, Starcom: The U.S. Space Force, also produced by Deke Enterprises. Like so many others, Starcom struggled to find a foothold in the oversaturated market of the 1980s. Besides having magnetic parts which allowed figures to stand on their vehicles, there was also a mechanical feature called Power Deploy, which would transform vehicles and open compartments. These interactive elements were a boon to the toy line and one of the main selling points. Like so many other cartoons of its time, the series itself was a good versus evil scenario, this time featuring evil Shadow Force led by Emperor Dark. Yeah, Emperor Dark, seriously. Fighting against the titular Starcom Astro Marines. The failure of
the art on this on that cartoon, like Starcom, looks really good. For the time, not like really kind of like washy, and the line works really cool. Like they've put a lot of effort in it. Like if you look at, where are we here? Like just looking at this, that's what it's like. Looks so good.
It does look good. It looks like it's Deke Entertainment, and it's before Deke really got really bad. So it has to be mid 80s that it came out. So, but the problem is that it's competing with Mask, G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe you couldn't touch. Transformers.
This time featuring.
Yeah. So because this is, if I was watching this, I'd be right into it, because I'm not sure because it's got planes, it's got jets, know, and it's that whole idea of good versus evil, but just the fact that you've got such great art in this cartoon.
Evil Shadow Force led by Emperor Dark. Yeah, Emperor Dark, seriously. Fighting against the titular Starcom Astro Marines. The failure of Starcom is cited as one of the reasons for Coleco's bankruptcy and subsequent sale to Mattel. Though Starcom's run in America ended, it found renewed life until 1990 in Europe, making it perhaps one of the most popular toys we've covered today. And so ends our list of 5 forgotten toys of the 1980s. But before we go, I've saved a bonus forgotten toy to add to our list of misfits. And so our bonus pick is Boglins.
This is the one that we early on, last year, we late last year, you actually got one, right? And
I had 3. I had 3. They're all gone.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they sold. Those are great. I love Boglins. That's a great toy.
Created from Mattel by.
So did he put it out that, because I can't remember what was the situation. When somebody else picked it up to release it, or did he release it himself?
I believe the creator that created Boglins. Well, I think he had something to do with the Muppets. He created the Boglins, and then later on, when it failed, I think you can still get new Boglins today. In fact, I really want to make sure I try to get some here soon, because the ones I had were not vintage Boglins; they're brand new. The ones that I sold were brand new, and so I really kind of hope I can get some more. But I think he put them out. What do you call it? He self did it. He did it by himself. He didn't sell it to a toy company or anything like that.
Right. Yeah.
Tim Clark, also known for work on The Dark Crystal and Fraggle Rock, these goblin-like puppets were released amidst creature movies like Critters and Gremlins, helping to launch them into popularity. Chances are, if you know any of the toys on today's list, it'll probably be Boglins. This particular toy did have a much larger following than our other selections today, boasting a run from 1987 all the way to 1994. In fact, this last pick isn't necessarily forgotten for the same reasons as many of the other toys we discussed, but rather this was a niche product that may have simply flown under your radar. Due to a renewed interest, I may or may not have written a few impassioned letters myself, Tim Clark successfully kickstarted a new line of Boglins back in 2020. If you missed their re-release, this happens to be one of the nostalgic toys you can still easily purchase online from major retailers. Well, you've opened all your presents.
Yeah.
Right. Now, one of the other toys from that era, I was looking at today, but before that, I'm going to surprise you with something.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if you're aware of this or what, but I came across this week.
I can
Oh,
slow
wow.
down the train, and I can partially fund the Joes through the discretionary fund. But that's the best I can do until you get me some hard evidence that Cobra's still a threat.
I was wondering why it was so quiet.
I can slow down the transfers, and I can partially fund the Joes through the discretionary fund. But that's the best I can do until you get me some hard evidence that Cobra's still a threat.
My plans to fund low-level terrorist groups as a way to keep the Joes diverted from our plans is working flawlessly.
Why are we wasting our time with these dirtballs, Roadblock?
Now, if you would be so kind as to produce payment for said RPGs.
Send a recall to all current and active Joes in the field and on leave. Alpha priority, return to base.
Because of Cobra crosstalk intercepted by dial tone, we suspect the prisoner is Scarlet.
He could take down that Cobra base all by himself, but he can't even bring himself to tell Scarlet how he feels about her.
You insolent wimps!
A spy! You have a spy in your group. Which one? Which one's the egg-sucking weasel?
I sent her to investigate a lead we had on Major Blood after she completed the Vitelli assignment. 3 days ago, we stopped receiving her reports.
If you had joined me, we could have changed Cobra from within.
Until I hear other orders, I'm continuing transferring the prisoner to me.
What'd you think of that?
That's funny. It's good. It's fun. I love it when people do that. It's neat,
So that was like 2 years ago they released the trailer. So I don't know what happened, or if they've released something else, or what's the update.
Right.
Because the latest would have been this one here,
right,
a year ago. Let me see if there's anything else that's really more recent. 3 months ago. So where we set the trend, but looks like they might have like played it at a theater or something.
Maybe. Sometimes these fan guys, they'll just do a trailer instead of a full movie.
I can't get them to restore funding for the Joes.
This country still needs us. Cobra's still in the weeds, waiting to strike.
It's getting harder and harder going to these going away parties.
Yeah, it's a big barrel of suck.
Huh.
We suspect the prisoner is Scarlet.
Yeah, so it looks like Fridley theaters on the like 2 days last year, that a year ago, I guess, they did actually show it. I wonder how they went about putting it all together, because there's a lot of actors in this, and it's kind of because having done film school, there is a lot of work that goes into arranging, not after even just a script's done, but you've got all these people, got to get them there on specific locations. You got the dress rehearsals, you got the costumes, and then also the acting. And hopefully, it looks pretty good. For someone looking from the outside, looking at it, and only seeing about a handful of the animated G.I. Joe, shows. I think it's pretty good. What did you think of it? Is it,
I think it's pretty cool. It's obviously very low budget, which is not a big deal. I just no matter how bad it is or how good it is, I'm just glad people are doing it. Why not? We're almost, the people that were playing with those toys are in their late 40s, early 50s. We can still play G.I. Joe. Man, we'll do it. We're ready to do it, man. It's one of the communities, one of the toy communities that always have good cosplayers and they're always fun. About 15 years ago, there were some fans that did an animated thing on YouTube, 10-minute shorts called G.I. Joe Resolute.
Right.
And that was really good too. And it's kind of sad to say that, what's funny is kind of people that are just the fans that are just cosplaying can make a better story about G.I. Joe than what Hollywood can. I don't know. Bring it up. We always talk about this. Hollywood's bankrupt with ideas, but when they're presented with something that is a good idea, they just take it and just run with it. The history is done for you. That the storyboarding is done for you. It's all done. They're like, we got to change it. That's stupid.
Well, since you're talking about Hollywood, right? I got something for you in that vein. So it's kind of a segue. So how about this? They're going to do a spin-off legacy sequel to Ferris Bueller's Day Off on the way from Cobra Kai producers and Paramount. And so the question of how and why something being made has become a refrain among us, keeping an eye on Hollywood, and a tired one at that. Still, Tinseltown isn't stopping the train anytime soon. In fact, it just made a stop to pick up Ferris Bueller. Now, this isn't the only one, right? I am going to. There was another one that was just done, and I was going to talk about this on my Monday show, which is where I talk about movies themselves. But I wanted to show. Where are you? Where did you go? Here we go. So here's another remake. Out of the blue, it's going to the theaters next month.
Oh, I am not giving you a nice
Hello. What a pretty young lady.
Look, it's great that you've witnessed Jehovah or whatever, but now's a bad time.
Oh, no, dear. I'm Ms. Durak, the babysitter.
Oh, hell no.
Mom, the babysitter's dead.
And the most important thing, if we're not alone and I ask you for something, you just say,
Whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna beat the original. It's whatever.
I remember watching because we had it on VHS at home, like, you know, hired out, and I enjoyed Christina Applegate, and because at that time she'd just come off, or I'm not sure if it was during or after Married with Children, and she just became this huge, superstar basically for teen, because she was gorgeous and everything, and her attitude from being on Married with Children just made kind of like a pinup icon superstar, for fans of that show. But also the fact that she could really deliver and act really good as well.
It came out when she was still doing Married with Children. I think Married with Children was on for like 2 years at that point. And everybody just thought she was a ditzy blonde, a stupid blonde. Yeah. And even people that were like watching the show or, didn't think that she was a good actress or anything like that. Yeah. That movie came out and you're like, oh, well, she's got, she's actually pretty good. She's fun to watch. I think she's a really good comedic actress.
She is. I mean, that Married with Children was one of my favorites growing up. Married with Children was like one of my favorites growing up because I got to watch that like even in our home at that up because I think I was around about 91, so I would have been about what was it like 83 would have been 10, so around what's that like about another 8 years, so 18 around 17. Yeah.
91,
so,
yeah, you would have been 18 or 19.
18 might have been younger than that. I think Married with Children might have come out early, a bit, earlier than that. 87.
I think Married with Children, not 87, right?
Yeah, and then this movie came out about 4 years later.
About a 1991 or 1990.
91. So I've got it pulled up so we can watch the original better, version of it than this friggin' hack job.
In about an hour and a half. She's leaving you guys all alone. I'm getting rid of her for 2 whole months. I can go to the beach. I can stay out as late as I want. I can do anything. I'm a free woman.
Hi. Hello to you. I'm Mrs. Durak. I'm a babysitter. What?
All right, you little maggots, now line up.
Are you serious?
I'll make your summer a living.
Hell! Ow! Hey!
TV rots your brain.
It's time we let her know the rules. Yeah, we outnumber her. Let's kick some butt. Mrs. Durak! Miss Durak? Oh my God. She died in her sleep.
They'll probably blame us.
Hey, be careful. I got her.
No, I mean my skateboard.
Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead.
Rock and roll!
Now, Christina Applegate and her brother
What?
bounce back for a summer with
How's my baby?
no rules,
In your dreams, babe.
no curfews, no nagging, no pulse.
Oh, how you doing, Mom? No, Mrs. Durak's not here. She went to the yarn store.
So, what do you guys want? Cheese omelet. Spaghetti. Breakfast is served. Mow the lawn today, and don't forget to do the dishes, okay?
Dishes are done, man.
Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead.
That's classic.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Christina Applegate. When's your mom leaving for Australia?
And that the old lady in that movie was, she was kind of scary, It was like harsh. It was like a complete 180, when you watched it. I don't ever remember seeing any kind of preview for it when I was growing up, but I remember the movie coming out. It was a pretty big deal. You know, it's not a big deal. It was, I mean, in all honesty, it wasn't meant to be like a blockbuster movie in the States. It wasn't it was just a fun summer movie, you know, and they were probably piggybacking off of Addams Family at that time or something, you know, whatever came out in 91. I can't remember exactly. Probably something that was pretty, pretty big movie. They were piggybacking off of that. That was one of the things they would do all the time. So
yeah, I mean, there was another movie. I remember it was, what was it? I just remembered before, but I've forgotten. It had to do like Babes in Toyland or something like, or some. I think it was Babes in Toyland. Was it came out at about the same time? And or was it Babes in Candyland or something? Yeah, 86 had Drew Barrymore in it, right? So,
yeah,
and I think there was a remake of a 1961 movie, and so that around about that similar time that Christina was like in because I think it was 87, and she's in like Married with Children, and the year before that, because I saw, by the time we got to VHS, it was like about 87 anyway for us in New Zealand. Because back then, almost took about 6 months to a year to get it on, from the cinema to VHS.
Oh yeah. Back in the old days when it took about 6 months to about a year until a movie got onto VHS. Not now where it's in the theater and then you can come home and stream it the same night.
Exactly. Oh, not even the same night, same moment. Like you don't even have to bother going to the cinema.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people are just it's getting that whole cinema business is just getting ruined right now. I was looking at the earnings here, and it's not giving me like what it cost. I know it made $25 million back then.
Oh, that's a pretty decent amount for that for 91. I'm just trying to think. I think Back to the Future 3 came out in 90. I'm just trying to think of what it piggybacked off of. Because it was just when did it come out?
91.
I mean, what was the date that it was released, not just the year?
So you said like Back to the Future came out in it came out in 1990, right? So Back to the Future came out in 1990. At the date of release for Back to the Future is, where is it? The date 11th of July, right? So that was 11th of July, and back to the other one. And Babysitter came out in May, like a year later.
Yeah. I know what it piggybacked off of. It piggybacked off of Terminator 2.
Right.
Terminator 2. Yeah, go ahead.
Why do you think it piggybacked off Terminator 2?
Well, because Terminator 2 came out in summer of 91. It was the biggest blockbuster movie of that year. This type of movie, Christina Applegate is only familiar for Married with Children,
right?
And this is more oriented to young women or young girls. Right. So when all the guys are going to Terminator, they're the young ladies are going to go see Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. And I think that's probably what it. And when I say piggyback off, I'm saying it came out within a month of Terminator 2, within a month or two of Terminator 2.
So Terminator came out on July 7th, and then this one came out on what day was it? May. So May, July.
Well, yeah. So it's not too far. I mean, it's maybe I'm off on that. I'm just trying to think of
But this is in the UK though. So
What's
it might
that?
have got to the UK a bit later than the
Mhm.
US.
May have
So
been.
yeah, so 92 it was released in the UK, but I mean it was 91 in the US. So there's a bit of there's a bit doesn't let me see if there's a better release date. Give me 1 second. America, yeah, so July 91. June, sorry. June
June of 91.
yeah. So Terminator was when was Terminator released again? To get back on it. So Terminator
Let me see real quick.
Terminator 3 was, where did you go? Rise no Terminator 2 you said, right? Not 3.
Yeah.
July 7th, 91. So actually it came out before.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah, it came out a month before. So, so the girls got to go see that. Now you can go with your boyfriends to see Terminator, right?
Maybe. It may have been another movie that I'm missing.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter. We're talking about something that came out almost 40 years ago. Let me see. The movies that came out in May of 91. Yeah, they're not great movies. Thelma and Louise, Backdraft were pretty big. So I'm using my phone as trying to look at everything.
Yeah, well, the thing it was Saturday Night Fever. I'm not sure why they're comparing that with it's like 1977, so it doesn't really, compare.
Wow.
Yeah, so like look at that, like it's saying like compare it with the Babysitter's Dead, and it's like I don't understand why they would go and do that movie in there, for because it's totally different genres and everything. But yeah, I mean, for $25 million, I mean that's not bad.
No, it was a pretty decent movie. I mean, I really thought it was I was impressed with it when I saw it. I didn't get to see it until it was on VHS. I didn't go see it in the theaters. I mean, I was 16 when it came out, or not. I wasn't even 16 yet. I was still 15, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go see a girl movie, But when my mom rented it, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I can watch this. It actually was one of my, it's a good film. It's good. It's fun to watch.
It is it's a real wholesome family kids movie where like the kids get together. They do their own thing and then they actually get together and they work together to achieve something.
It has a little bit of a John Hughes vibe to it.
Exactly.
When it's done, it's not a John Hughes film. Definitely not a John Hughes film. But the guy that plays her brother is just hilarious in that movie.
Yeah.
And trying to think if he was in some other movies. I think the actor is actually older than Christina Applegate, because I think he played a teenager. Did he play the kid in The Adventures in Babysitting that had the crush on the babysitter? That came out in 1987.
Would that be like Josh Charles?
Is that his name? I'm not sure. I don't know, man.
97, did you say? So let me have a look over here. 97.
1987.
Oh, 87. Okay.
87.
So 87.
Adventures in Babysitting. He was in that. Pretty sure he was.
Must be the different, not that guy then. So if he's older, well, there's David Duchovny in there as well.
David Duchovny. Yeah, from X-Files.
Was it actually David? Yeah, that guy. Have a look at this. Have a look at this photo.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. I think. What's his name? Keith Coogan. Right? Coogan.
Keith Coogan.
So not 86. You said, right?
87.
87. So
87. I think it was Adventures in Babysitting. I think that was when that movie came out. Not Josh Charles. The person that played her
Yeah,
little
you're
brother.
right. Yeah, Brad. There
What's
you go.
that?
You're right. He was. He's in this one here.
Yep.
Meet Chris Park. Getting ready for the greatest night of her life.
Hi. I gotta cancel.
Now she's stuck babysitting the Anderson kids. Sarah,
Mom got Chris to babysit for me.
Chris?
her brother Brad, and his best friend, Gary.
Who is this kid? Stray dog. Take good care of my baby. I'll guard her with my life.
What could possibly go wrong?
Chris, I'm in trouble. Hang up and sit down. I'll be there in half an hour.
Well, I'm just out of school. This is the night when things go from bad
My mom's car!
to worse.
Big city scum sucker.
Too ridiculous.
Wanna go to bed?
Hey, I like danger.
This is great! You should try babysitting.
And this is only the beginning.
Your friend is dead.
Chris can handle it.
Sarah's probably hanging from the rafters by now. Sarah, hold on! I'm still in control here.
You could say they were having a bad night
Any problems? No, not really.
if they weren't having such a good time. Adventures in babysitting.
Think your parents will ever ask me to babysit again?
If they do, I'd ask them for $1 more an hour.
So he was, when that movie came out, his name is Keith Coogan.
Yeah.
Right? He was 16 when Adventures Babysitting came out, or 17 when that came out. And then he was 21 when Don't Tell Mom and the Babysitters did, and he was a year older than Christina Applegate. And he played his little, he's one of those guys that had a career for about 10 years where he played a teenager. And then then I don't know what happened to him. I'm sure he's doing I'm sure he's doing very well for himself. I hope so. He's very
still,
entertaining.
He's been acting forever. Like, I mean,
oh yeah,
yeah, he's still acting now. Like, a team of two.
Oh yeah,
is that him here?
I've never seen this. Oh, this looks like a very independent movie.
Yeah.
Meet Mark Valentine, the #1 homicide detective in Los Angeles, who thinks he is still in 1985 and is just a little crazy.
Finally, you're here. I'm gonna go in. Shut up. You can't go in. Why not? I'm a cop. You lost your damn mind. Oh. What the hell's wrong with you?
Hey, who is this sexy piece of man? Meet Murphy Jackson, the #1
parody.
narcotics detective in Los
very-
Angeles.
Of
Classy,
cop movies and stuff.
smooth, and loves to follow the rules.
Words on the street is you got the best of the best.
Put your gun down.
Your new partner's coming. Two newly paired LAPD detectives who are complete opposites must put aside their differences
I'm getting tired of you. What did you say? Nobody likes you.
Shut up. In order to rescue the captain's daughter,
We're here for the girl.
who was kidnapped by the city's most wanted criminal.
Is he in this?
Yes.
LAPD, let's
I'm trying to figure out where he is.
I don't know where he's at. I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
And facing the most dangerous criminal is easier than facing your new partner.
You guys, go out and find it.
Good luck. I ain't letting me do it.
Look at him there, right?
What's that?
I thought that might have been him.
That's not him.
Not,
I don't know what he. I don't know. This is it's a good idea, but it's poorly executed.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like that The Rock or something that did a buddy cop type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's got Eric Roberts in it. Probably just like these guys. With him, he's probably just like
It's probably a bit part.
like a walk-on character, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But here's another guy. I can't think of his name right now. Thinking about it, these guys that play teenagers for like their entire life, their entire acting career. I can't remember his name. He was in the he played Rufio in Hook. What's his name?
I mean, one of the ones that I know that's played a lot of teenage males is Christian Slater, and I used to love his movies, right?
Christian Slater, yeah. Dante
was,
Bosco. Dante Bosco is Asian American, and that guy made a career of playing a teenager for 20 years. I'm not kidding you. He was in Hook. He's a teenager in Hook, and I think his last one of his last movies, playing a high schooler in the that movie, the dance movie with Antonio Banderas, where he comes and teaches all the kids how to dance. He's one of the kids. I think that came out in 2006. So almost like a 20-year span that this guy has been playing. He's in his 30s playing a teenager, and looks like a teenager.
Crazy, isn't it? Like, I mean, like 20 years playing a teenager, and it's like Michael J. Fox, right? Because he looks young and has looked young for so many years, and until he got ill. But I mean, he could have done that forever because he's still had that look. All he had to do was put on some makeup and sort of touch him up a bit, and you'd be right.
Oh yeah, very very much so. He did. He was when he did the Secret of My Success, that came right off the heels of Back to the Future.
Was it after Back to the Future?
Definitely was. It was definitely after Back to the Future. He still looked too young for the part that he was playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this guy. It was hard for me to believe that he was trying to play some, trying to be a corporate executive. I mean, I understood the story was he was coming out of college and whatnot, but he still looked really young for that time period.
I mean, if you look at him in here and this, this, he looks like he's 16 or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Even with his Parkinson's, he still looks very young for how old he is. I mean, but this is he's super young in that, man.
He's almost like 14 or something.
Yeah. And the suit looks like it's too big for him. It looks like he's wearing his dad's suit. It's like, oh, okay. But that's a funny movie. So I didn't mean to get on a tangent of movies. I know there's a toy podcast, but my second passion is movies.
So there's this lady. I've actually reached out to Rain here, and I emailed her and asked her if she wanted to come on our show in I think April. April. And be interested, and hopefully she will. Because we'll see what happens. But this is her top 5 favorite Tommy toys.
Hello, Randy Rain here. And surprise! It's a video that's not on Saturday. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and people always like list videos, so I thought I'd give it a shot. I have, I think, 22 different Tomy mechanical games.
Wow.
So this list is the top 5 of my favorite Tomy mechanical games.
Go back. She's got. I'm sure she's going to talk about it, but the one I want is right there.
The red one?
Yeah, the maroon. It's actually maroon.
Okay.
But because I've got this one, right? So, but there's a three of them. So this is shark, and then there's the plane and the white, I think, and then the maroon one is the Tommy Tron, the Tron game version of it. Yeah.
Of my favorite Tomy mechanical games. Let's get started. This is number 5. This is a 2-parter. So yeah, number 5 is the Super Cup football or Super Cup soccer, and also the Radio Shack ice hockey. This is put out by Radio Shack, but
did you ever see these?
I seen a little bit of those. Yeah, I never liked them. I never liked them very much. I remember my brothers getting the football game where the thing shook. You know, you had all the American football, and you had all the figures on there, and the thing shook, and then they moved the football. It's kind of weird. I thought it was when I was a kid, I thought it was amazing, but looking at it back today, it's just like, oh, well, kids in the 70s found that exciting. That's so sad.
Yeah, but I mean, like
But this is cool.
Yeah, it looks interesting in the sense like the way it's set up, because it's more technical than just some just what you would call it, like what is it called, foosball kind of thing?
Foosball, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember I've seen these types of things blown up in the arcade, like a huge one with all the hockey players where you can move them all over the place. So this is pretty neat. I would never have gone looking for that because I wasn't a sports guy. But if I would have gotten this for Christmas or something, it would have gotten some use. It would have definitely gotten some use from me. So
it's a Tomy product, and it's practically the same thing as this one. These are 2-player games, and they're extremely fun. And if you've ever played the little stick hockey type games and the stick soccer type games, they're very similar. It's not the exact same. There is some differences that you got to get used to, but it's pretty much works the same way. The soccer one is just a hair different between ice hockey, because the soccer one has on the sidelines where the ball can go out of bounds and get thrown back in.
Wait, it's motorized, right? Because
it looks like it.
And you can hear the crowds are actually shouting and yelling when you press the button on.
Oh yeah.
In the ice hockey one, it's just slanted on the side, so the puck cannot never get to a spot that one of the guys can't get. Now these aren't that rare. You can find these pretty easily, and they're not that expensive. And nicely, the gears that are inside of them are ones that are not prone to splitting. So it's very often you can find one of these in perfect working condition. They're fascinating working inside. I've done videos on both of these, so you can go check those out. But yeah, these are really, really fun to play, and definitely my number 5. Number 4. Now, number 4, oddly enough, is a 4-player game, and my only 4-player game on this list, and this is Lay an Egg. Now, when I tell people about this game and explain what the game is, they always say, oh, it's like Hungry Hungry Hippos. Well, no, it's not like Hungry Hungry Hippos. Hungry Hungry Hippos requires no skill. All you do is hit the lever as many times as you can. This game actually requires skill. You have to bop this little button on here, and you can't just push it, you have to bop it. And if you bop it at the exact right time, it will catch the little hen coming by, and the hen will lay an egg. And I like to play where the brown eggs are 3 points, the yellow eggs are 2 points, and the white eggs are 1 point. And kids love this game, and so do intoxicated adults. A very, very fun party game. Now, there is one problem with this game. It's easy to find, it's not expensive, but the gears do break. And the gears can be found and purchased and replaced, but this is the hardest gearbox to get back together. So if you're going to tackle this game, just be prepared that it's pretty hard to get that gearbox back together. But I have 2 videos on this thing, so if you want to check those out. Anyway, number 4, that's my favorite, Lay an Egg. Number 3. So my number 3 is Space Galaxy, and good luck finding one of these. This thing is very rare. This is the only one I've ever seen for sale, and I grabbed it. It's put out by Sears, but it is a Tomy game. It's a single-player game, and it's extremely fun. This one is actually addicting. You can set this up and not want to put it away. So you're flying around in this little Battlestar Galactica-looking type ship, and it's going around in circles, kind of like the Whirly Bird, except when you push down on this, it will go down, but it will dip back up. And if you hold the lever down, it will just go back down and dip back up and go back down and dip back up over and over and over again. But if you lift up, it will stay up. So you can fly around up and then dip down when you need to. And you're trying to hit the little transport down below. And if you hit the little latch.
Did you ever see those?
I have never seen that. I've seen similar. I've seen similar things, but I have never seen that at all. That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat, actually.
Latch on the top, it will open up and show that it has exploded and you got it. And then as it goes through the little home base, it resets that little transport thing and calculates your score. Now, if you do find one of these, it's not that hard to fix. And like I said, this is extremely fun. It was hard to put this at number 3 because this is one of my favorite Tomy games of all time. Space Galaxy. It's a rare one. Number 2. So just like the number 4 pick was a 4-player, the number 2 pick is another 2-player. And that is Turn the Terrible Tank. This is a great game. And one of the reasons it's ranked so high is because when I pull this out and people who have never played it start playing it, they love this game as well. So it's very fun with new players and very fun with experienced players. The idea is you shoot these little marbles over this little hump, trying to get this little robot to turn around and go towards the other player. And you can only hit the tank at a certain time to make it activate and go the other direction. And if you miss, you risk shooting the ball to the other player and giving them some ammunition. So not only do you have to think about trying to hit that tank at the right time, but you also have to think about not giving the other player the advantage.
Wow.
You don't want to run out of bullets, that's for sure. So yeah, Turn the Terrible Tank. This is a good one right here. One of their better ones, in my opinion.
That one looks familiar to me, but I don't remember it clearly. It looks familiar. So, but yeah, that's a cool one. That's actually really cool.
Might have, yeah. I'm wondering if I saw it on the like a TV ad at that time.
I want to say I've played it before, but it looks very familiar to me. But who knows?
Now, you can find these all over. They're pretty cheap and they're pretty easy to fix. I've already done a video on it, of course, so go check the video out and you can get one of these and fix it. Very, very fun 2-player game. It's time for the reveal of the big number 1. So there's only one game, in my opinion, that deserves number 1, and that's Run Yourself Ragged, or Screwball Scramble, or Snafu, or Tricky Ball, or Tricky Bill. All the different names that this thing has come out in over the years because it's been constantly been put out. You can still buy this game today, brand new. There's also a version 2 that I will be talking about in the future. Everything about it is done correctly. It's challenging. It's, nerve-wracking. It does run yourself ragged. It's a game. It's a game. That's what's so fun about it. And from getting it over the little planks and getting it across the little rods with the pond underneath and the little board that looks like Flash Gordon and the part where you can just skip over the whole thing if you're as good as I am. And you find your way through that maze, no problem whatsoever. Come out, get to the end, and ding. It's such a fun game. Run Yourself Ragged. So most definitely this is the number 1 game. And I would go ahead and say probably this is the best game Tomy ever made, period. And that's why it's still being made today. You can go on their website and you can find this game.
Oh, wow.
So, did you like this little list thing? Well, I hope so, because I probably will do more. Would you like to see my 5 worst Tomy games. Well, I have that list too.
Wow.
Anyway, if you like this, please give me a like. I sure would appreciate it. If you want to see more stuff like this and see how I can fix these things, then you hit the subscribe button. All the videos I talked about are in the link below. So is a PayPal donation link and a Patreon link, which is why I want to thank these people right here. These are Patrons. There's people helping me out. And I couldn't do this stuff. And so I wanted to do this for them because it was some of them that asked me to do it. So anyway, there it was. My 5 favorite Tomy games.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I didn't realize they did like you know, all I thought they did was like electronic games, not actually, you know, physical, you know, intuitive games like this, you know, that have no electronics to it at all. But this is such an interesting little, you know, you got to get it up there. You got to get it right, then you got to get it across, then you got to fiddle around with this part here, you know, and make sure it goes in. Then you like got to press a button and pop it across into that hole, right? Like a basketball, and then work it around there and then back in. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. It's like it's nerve wracking.
Oh yeah. Do you remember the game Mousetrap?
I don't remember actually playing it. I know the game, but never really played it.
It was a game you were trying to catch a mouse. It was turn action. I've only played it a few times, you know. It was a fun game. But that's kind of what it reminded me of, you know, of Mousetrap. But I've never seen that game ever in my life. That looked fun. I'm like, you're ready to go find a copy of that game.
Yeah. So this is an ad for Mousetrap. So since we talk about it, came out in 1990.
Give that back! Mouse trouble? Then you need Mousetrap. Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see. The first to capture everyone else's mouse is the winner. Just turn the crank and snap the plank and shoot the marble right down the chute. Now watch
right,
it roll
I see
and
what
hit
you're
the
doing.
hole.
Like
Knock the
very
ball
similar.
out without foul, which fits the man.
Yeah.
Into the trap is set. Here comes the net. Ouch! Mousetrap, I guarantee it's the craziest trap you'll ever see. I knew you were a winner. Mousetrap from Milton Bradley.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, but I never played it, and I don't know if anybody had it either.
Oh wow, they got people.
Joey, what's this one?
Yeah,
it looks like it's a bit long. But we'll see.
That's how fast I left it up there. Hey, today we're playing the Mousetrap Challenge. I'm Jay Fred. This is Brian. This is Matthias. We're Team Edge. We upload Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
It's not true. He lied.
Prove it.
Prove it. Yeah. Where's your identification?
All right, let's see who play.
You lost the guy. Thank you, Bobby.
I just put it like
I
this.
bloody did it.
All right, there we go. Probably be faster this way.
Cheddar.
Toe
Wait,
cheese.
Ew. White cheddar. He got so excited. Hey guys, make sure you go subscribe if you're new here because we make videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 p.m. So do it now if you're not already subscribed. Who goes first? Who rolls first?
I roll first. You degenerate.
Go. One. Yes. You're blue.
Wait, you build it up?
Three. One, two.
Yeah, you have to build it as you play it.
All right, my turn. So excited. 4. Green. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do nothing.
That's exciting, dude.
So you land on 3, so you go to D-E-U-X.
I landed on.
No, you land on it, so now you put a piece together.
I landed on what?
A 3.
Really?
Yeah,
That's pretty convoluted.
3.
Yeah, because I thought like it was you set it up and then you play it, but I didn't realize you had to build it.
Yeah, I believe you build it as you play it. I'm not 100% sure either, but I just remember I think a lot of times we just had it built and just played with it, you know, just saw it all work.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's pretty nifty. I mean, like it's taking a lot of brain work to like, you know, to figure it out, and because you got to go past, you land on something certain, and then you can add it on. It's not like just this is how, you know, yeah, it's not like a 1, 2, 3 thing. It's you could like not land on it and it won't get built, right? And you have to go around, and then until you land on a specific thing, then you can build it, which is pretty interesting way to like, get people thinking about, especially if you're young kids, like sitting down there with the kids, with the parent, and trying to organize this and like try to be patient. It's coming, just you got to roll dice right, But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Look, it was a fun game.
Okay, let's pop out of there, and let's do some toy talk. So, do you have anything to show this week?
I have nothing to show this week. I've just been, like I said, with the earlier this afternoon, with the fires going on, I didn't bring anything. I did get something in the mail that I opened up that I really liked. I can show, but I just have to go grab it.
Okay, go grab it, and because like this is from what I got in the mail this week as well.
Very cool.
So this is Bone Breaker from Marvel Legends from X-Men.
Yeah, is that the Build-A-Figure or did?
Yeah, it's a Build-A-Figure. So the only thing that was missing, which I have to get, is from the Havoc figure, which is a tank. I think it's like the barrels at the back, and that's it.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a barrel. It's like a long one, so it's 2 pieces that go together in that. But I got extra hands for it. So, and then you got the back here that opens up, and you can, you got them as fists or for holding the gun. So, it's a really, really good figure. I actually didn't realize it was going to be this good. I actually bought it from 2 different people. So I bought this from one guy, and then I actually bought the tank piece from another person. However, it got lost in mail, then it got delivered, not per instruction, and then it was left in the mailbox, which I believe got stolen.
Oh man!
So now I got to go out and try to figure it out again, because I always say leave it at my door, because they usually come in and knock. And I know they're there around about 7 o'clock in the morning, but like they didn't. And so we had a long, like a 6-week long back and forth with the seller, with with the delivery people, the couriers. I was just like so wild. And I just like said, I'm not going to do that again. I'm done with like that. I'm just going to buy from shops. But I still need to like actually get this piece. But this is such a good good little piece of
It's
everything
cool.
about it's perfect.
I want to say I actually have that. I have all the figures for that Build-A-Figure on my shelves.
Right. So you got the Havoc one.
Yeah, I think I do. I think I have all of them. I have to look. It's right here. Hold on just a second. Let me look.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted this figure because it's part of like my favorite time of of the X-Men, because like with the Claremont and John Byrne run, and I thought having this Build-A-Figure, because I've got one from like the Batman universe, like I've got the Joker Build-A-Figure, which I showed last year with I think what was it called, that Cyborg Joker, and so having this one like that finishes my X-Men sort of Build-A-Figure thing. So now I have a complete DC and I have a complete Marvel, one of each, which is what I like to do, is like actually have one of each, and I'm happy with that. So is that the Havoc barrel?
I don't have the Havoc one. I thought I had all of them because it came in a case. But I don't have the Havoc. I have all the figures. I have all of these figures except for Havoc.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have Sabretooth either. There's a couple that I'm missing. It's just crazy. I thought I had all of them.
Last time I had a look for one for them, it was going to cost me about $50-$60. But by the time I actually got the barrel, it was only like ended up being $8, and it was $12 postage, and which is like basically it's Korea. It's like $12 postage. It's a Korea post, and that's what really pissed me off. And like me and the seller was like got onto a whole thing about it, and like at the end of it, I was like, I'm not going to do this ever again. Like I'm just done.
Wow.
And you know,
Was
trying to get.
the seller giving you a hard time,
it
or
had to do
just
with
having a hard time in
No,
general?
no, it was infuriation between like I'm waiting for it, and he's thinking that I've got it, right?
Oh.
And then I'm thinking, where is it? And then like why Santa is like it's been picked up. It's like, but it's never been delivered. Well, it's got here says it's picked up. It's like in transit. Like where's it transit? Like oh, it says it's delivered. It's like well, it hasn't. And it's like we haven't got it, and it was just a mess. And over like 6 weeks of it, I was just like, we basically end up hating each other, right? At the end of it, like angry at each other. And so I was just like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this again. Because, I mean, you know, you got everything here in one piece. And then I only started buying it and I agreed to buy it. And once I had that other piece. And then I was like, yeah, I'm going to pay for it now. And then realizing that it's lost. And I'm like, otherwise, and I still don't mind without not having it, but I'm sure I'm going to be able to find another piece. It's just the extra cost.
That sucks, man. That sucks. I hate that when that happens, you know?
Yeah, it's like it's never. I don't think it's ever happened before, which is really what really pisses me off.
Did you order it through eBay or did you order it?
No, it was through our own eBay, right? Which is Trade Me.
Okay. Oh,
it's like an $8 thing, but like it, it's a piece of freaking thing that now it's got to do another go running around for it.
Why don't you show it a little bit on the big screen so all our viewers can see it, and I'll run and grab that thing that I wanted to show you.
Sure. Okay, we'll do that.
All right. Let's go on big screen.
All right. So this is the for those of you guys who are like who are fans of the John Byrne Chris Claremont series of the Ark in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s for the X-Men, right? Which is big now, right? The 97 X-Men thing. The Reavers, right, who this is a part of, were like one of we're like the Aussie mutants, like the evil mutants. And so they were all about like attaching bionics to themselves, like robot pieces. So this one here is the Bone Crusher, Bone Breaker, right? So half of his body is basically a tank, right? And like a mini tank. And so that sort of it's just like for me when I saw that I was like this. I'd always kind of like maybe in the back of my head say I like this because I love the Reavers, and because the Reavers also has like my favorite cover in that arc, which is like Wolverine on the cross, X cross, right? And so I kind of felt like I needed to have this, and it would finish my my Marvel set off, so I can have Psylocke and all that and Wolverine, but having just one of him and one of the Reavers would be just a perfect thing. So I'm quite happy I got this, but of course I got to go find this bit now. So you got your parcel?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
It's kind of funny is because I had this sent to me as well, and we had there's two of the same address on the same road here, and one is north and one is south. So I'm at 601 North Main Street, and there's a 601 South Main Street, and my parcel was actually delivered to 601 South Main Street, and I saw that it was delivered, and and I'm like, well, shoot, I don't have it. But I got this Dr. Doom from the newest Marvel Legend, and came with Dr. Doom and Captain Marvel,
right?
And this is from the Secret Wars storyline. I liked it because this is one of the first comic books I ever read was the Secret Wars line of comic books. My big brother actually read the books to me, helped me read, helped me learn how to read with it. And I remember Dr. Doom being pretty big part of that series. And the cool thing is like he comes with an alternative head. I'll put that on real quick for you guys.
Now, is this like a private sale, or is it like the actual out of the box thing?
I got him out of the box. I pulled it out of the box. I don't know where Captain Marvel is right now, so that's why I don't have her with us. But this is what he looks like, and the cool thing is the accessories that he comes with. Comes with an extra, another fist.
Yeah.
He's very good articulated. He's got the one fist here. He's got the gripping hand. I like the gripping hand, or the like I'm powerful hand type thing or whatever.
Right.
And then he has another one of those. It goes on the other hand, on the other arm. And then the really coolest thing about it is when he's in this version is that he's got a mask, his own mask.
Ah, that's cool. Right.
You know, so I'm a big fan of, I think Dr. Doom is one of my favorite villain characters in the Marvel universe, just because of how cool he is. I mean, he's basically a cross of Tony Stark and Doctor Strange, and with the and all he's doing is just trying to take care of his own country. You know, I mean, he's know this. He says everything is about his own his country, you know, type thing. So he's funny, and he's a cool character. And the other thing is he's in the Secret Wars series, in the original Secret Wars series, he was trying to steal the power from Galactus, trying to steal all of Galactus's power, which is insane. And at the end of the thing, he came out as a pretty powerful character. Yeah. The other thing is on the in the 2099 universe. I don't know if you remember the 2099, like Spider-Man 2099. When they did Doctor Doom 2099, it was the original Doctor Doom. He just jumped into the future, you know. So yeah, I like the character. He's just a really fun, and I like the figure. The figure is really cool. So that's the one I got to show today.
All right, I've got some cars, right? Which I don't like. I've been like buying, you know, like cars and stuff in the wild, right? And so I didn't realize that I actually ended up with 3 Mustangs.
Whoa!
Right? So I can't remember what this is off, but like this is this is a battery. Oh, you know, it's a battery pack, so I think it's part of a remote, you know, remote control car. Because like inside you can see it's like hollow as.
Yeah.
So it's just a battery, you know, with the wheels and stuff. But I didn't even realize that, you know, I also had these ones, and I was going to put up some, you know, up on the on my bookshelf, and got a blue one and I've got a, you know, white one. But yesterday or the day before, I went shopping and I found a guy who actually had a real one of the latest models with the stripes as well, who was just parked up going to do shopping. I'm like, and the reason I was surprised about it was because right now we're working on a comic book called Howler, where the main female has one of these, right? She has one of these, and she's like, you know, old, like really, really old. And then she gives that to her son, who now is customizing it. So her original color is one color. Now it's going to be another color. So I got to decide whether it's a white car, then it becomes red, or if it's a red car and it becomes white. And I haven't decided yet whether I go the other way. So what do you think? One of these, because like it's right at the start. The story starts with basically, I think it's 2 pages in, and then it's three pages of just the young couple being in the car.
So I am a huge Mustang fan. I own a Mustang GT 5.0. Convertible, black convertible. I love it. It's my favorite car. I baby that sucker all the time. So can you go on the big screen so I can see what the car, what model car you had, what year car you had?
Which, the little ones or the
Any
big
one of
ones?
them. Just hold them up so I can see them a little bit better.
This is 97. I mean,
Well,
from
that's
like
that's a Camaro.
Okay.
That's a Camaro. So that's from Chevy. The other one, the white one, that is, let me see the front. That is a Mustang. That looks like a Mustang to me.
Yeah.
And then the big one is definitely a Mustang. That's the one that you had in your hand. The little one is a late 60s. Those are late 60s Mustang. And so somewhere on that toy, there's written a megahertz that you can a frequency. If you get a remote control that matches that frequency, you can make that car be a remote control car for you.
Wicked. Because
you just have to find the frequency for it.
Because last year I actually bought a whole bunch of like Batman figures, a remote control car. I mean, Batmobiles, right? And so part of that was one that's a remote control.
Yeah.
So
it might control it. It may not control it great.
Yeah, 27, right?
So 27 megahertz.
27.
They should control it. There you go. It should. It may not be perfect. It may not be perfect, but it should do the job and get that thing rolling if it works.
That'll be awesome. Like it looks like it's okay. Nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, like unusual, broken or something.
Missing like one of the hubcaps on the back tire. Everything looks good on it.
Oh, all right. I see what you're. Yeah.
Everything looks good on it. I mean, it's a cool looking car.
Yeah. So, since you're a fan, I'll get you to choose the stripes. Right. Let me get out of here. What color it should be, because remember, it's a female who owns it since the 70s when it first came out, and because she travels the world in that time of year, she's been around. So in every, she's got some sort of vehicle in some, wherever she's been. But here in New Zealand, she has one of these. So do I switch it around to making it what? In that year when it first came out, what color did it come out? Was it only white?
There were probably several colors. Fire engine red was probably a popular color. Green, black, obviously black. White was very popular. The racing stripes were probably added on, secondary. But she's giving it to her grandson or her son? Is that what?
No, her son.
Her son.
Yeah.
And is he?
And then he's gonna then turn it into another color to suit him.
And this is a comic book you're creating. This is a comic book character.
Yeah.
Does he have superpowers?
No powers. It's a creature feature. It's a horror fantasy comic. So basically they don't have that's how they get around. The cars that travel.
So I had a 2005 Mustang GT back a while back. That was jet black. It was black, and I had gunmetal gray racing stripes going on it. But in the middle of it, I had the bat symbols cut out into it. So if he has like a symbol or something like that, I can send you a picture. I can send you a picture later on it. I think I have a picture of it somewhere.
So you're saying this is all black, and then the stripes like on the side here would be gunmetal black.
No, the stripes. The stripes going over top are gunmetal gray.
Gray. Okay.
Gunmetal gray. And then they were. Now I like if you turned it red, the white stripes I don't think will look as good as what you're thinking. You would I would think go with maybe a yellow stripe or something else, kind of a little bit. But a white car with red stripes look great.
If it was white, I mean, if it was white, then we turn it black, then we better, right?
Yeah,
it'll be a bit more like his colors compared to her colors. So
right.
I think we'll go with the white and then go the gray black for the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, and there's some really cool badges that are available for like the Mustang and stuff like that. You can really really make it really look cool.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I did with my Mustang. I did that, and then when the two racing stripes came to the back window, I had a stencil of Batman on the back window. It was pretty neat.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think about that, what I could do with the back of this, right? But yeah, no, that's great because yeah, he's done the prelim, storyboard, the way the car's going to look, but we haven't added the final way it's going to look. So, and I've said to him, like, we go from like red to blue, and I'm like, yeah, blue doesn't seem right. Like if you're going red to blue, because blue's a bit, I don't know, just a bit washy. But if it's going black, then it's going to look really, macho for the guy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's about 22, right? And so he's going to make it look like a tough car,
Oh, yeah.
And plus, it's going to be interesting because I have to work out how long they've been, been around, and that and it's their getaway car, their everything, their workhorse. But it was interesting researching the car because with me with writing a comic book, I always go and get reference photos and stuff, and I'm learning about what the back looks like. And it was weird that I didn't even notice it, because for here it looks almost the same, right?
Yeah.
And so it kind of I didn't think about that, and plus the stripes on top as well. So you got the Mustang, which is different to the Ford, right? Is this a Ford?
Nope, that's a Chevy.
Chevy. So
the Mustang is a Ford.
Right. So that's what gets me confused. It's like, which is which? But it's interesting to why they would try to be so similar to each other, as a design as well.
So they were competing with each other in the United States. Those are called muscle cars. I don't know if you recognize that. So the first real muscle car that was mass produced was probably the Mustang. It's called a pony. Right. They also call it a pony car. That's why it was called a Mustang. Had a lot of horsepower for the time. And then Chevy wanted to get on board, and they wanted to, started competing. I forget about the Corvette. The Corvette was probably the big muscle car, but it was a lot more expensive.
Right.
People that were the normal people that couldn't afford a Mustang, a Corvette, were wanting to get cheap horsepower, and they were buying these cars, Mustangs and Camaros, Camaros, Trans Ams, and those cars. And then you got the Chargers, the Challengers, all that. So Ford, Chevy, and Dodge were always competing with each other with their muscle cars. And Pontiac was part of Chevy or GMC at the time, and Dodge had their own stuff. But Mustang has been the only one that's really just stayed consistent. And in fact, when all of the companies recently have decided to not do any muscle cars anymore, everything's going electric. Mustang is still putting out a gas-powered combustible engine muscle car, and that the people that love cars are fanatic, love this, love the idea, and they never stopped production of them. They never stopped producing them. They had a slump. The 70s was not a good time for Mustang. 80s were good. That's when they had what they call the Fox body. It was all square, but all the cars kind of try to look similar but different. So that's why you have the early style of a Camaro that you have on the Matchbox car that you got.
Yeah,
that's early style Camaro, and then they have the early style Mustang. They look very similar, but and then in 2005, the retro look became very popular because of the Mustang. The Mustang put out their retro thing, and it looked like if you redesigned the 1965 Mustang for 2005. So I love the Mustangs. They're great cars. They're actually easy to work on, even the newer ones, but they're fun. They are very fun to drive. And they're fast.
I have to, because the fact that it's only 2 doors, right? And then also the fact that I wanted the couple to make out in the back seat, and I was like,
that
how
ain't
do they make out in the back seat? And I'm like, okay, well, they're smart. They're going to put this, they're going to turn the, what is it called, the back thing forward,
Right.
And then that's how they'd make out. And because it was interesting to see the inside of the car and work out where everything was, and also to see how people were customizing it, because redoing the inside of it, customizing the leather work, some of the panel work, the wood and stuff like that. It was really interesting to see that, and and it was just it was like I didn't even think about that I had these around. And this was sitting, this was sitting around before because when I was thinking about doing it, when I actually wrote this like the idea or the concept for the story, I already decided that he was going to have a Mustang, right?
Okay.
And I looked online and I had that there. And then when we had the artist join us about six weeks ago, then I went 2 weeks ago and I said, here's all this reference photos I just grabbed and go here. So that's when I got to see all the custom cars, because the first one I saw was a white car, and that was it. And I was like, yeah, I like it. Or actually, it was a blue car, and I liked it. And I thought, yeah, that's fine. But now, I didn't like it after, kind of looking at it again. So white to black is kind of feels like the right way to go from mum to son, And
So what you could do is if she had white with red stripes, he could have black with red stripes.
Right. Because that will still work out, wouldn't it? It will be bright enough. And
right.
You probably wouldn't want the maroon tone, right? Because this is actually quite maroon.
Right. More red, like fire, fire engine red.
That.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that, fire engine red rather than gray metal.
I can send you some good reference stuff, and I have a vinyl machine type thing that I can do designs on different cars too. And I have some cool stuff. So what kind of creatures is he? Is he a creature hunter or?
No, he's a creature.
Okay.
It's kind of like two of my favorite creatures around. But the other thing is the whole thing's full of mythical creatures, like from folklore, folk tales. You got a Filipino or Indonesian 4-armed horse, right, and a humanoid horse, and then you've got got people like you got a cat face snake with 4 legs. It's like these are all creatures from mythical stories around the world. So I've been able to do a lot of research on that, and then kind of with these, they're basically on the run. And so, why are they on the run and stuff you learn as you're reading it. And he's telling the story from his point of view as well. But there's also a love interest and stuff, and which is why, I had the car at the start. We're going to have this and have that. And so we're going to release it as a graphic novel rather than a single issue at a time. However, we're going to release all the single issues at the same time we'll release the graphic novel. So you get to pick and choose. You can have your variant covers on your single issues, or you can get the graphic novel in one sit down read. But buy all 4 issues at the same time rather than waiting for it across a year. And we're almost. I'm writing the action scene now. There's 4 pages of just hard out action, and so I'm doing. There's a fight scene between her and 2 of the creatures, right?
Okay.
And so it's really good. I'm working with a really good artist, and he's got real good perspective, depth of field, just the way he draws, which is why I asked him to work on this one. because I was going to do this year. I was going to like wait a couple of years when I get a, you know. So now we're working on it at the same time I'm writing pages. So it's kind of difficult to do that, you know. But like I sent him like 4 pages. Here it is, and I sent him another 4 pages. Here it is. But I've already worked out the entire 3-volume arc of this, like how this is all going to work out. So, which is, you know,
it's pretty cool, man. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we get off, tell me a little bit more about the creature. I'm pretty sure you don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I understand that, but I'm really interested. Really piques my interest on that. I would, let you know that. So
awesome. Yeah, so let's. I think that's us done today.
Okay.
I don't think I've got any unboxing that I can think of, but like I thought, the cars, kind of like. I've never been a car person, but I do like the design work. I've always been like into motorbikes and stuff, and so choppers and so on, and Harleys and Triumphs. But but now doing this, it's like I've really enjoyed looking at the Mustang and how the shape and everything while we've been looking at how to add that to the comic book itself, which is kind of it's been a really cool trip.
Yeah,
journey to there.
Yeah, you want to probably get reference photos of like a 68 Mustang.
I think I did a 67.
67, 68. The body style didn't change very much, but it did change a little bit. As far as them being in the back seat, they might as well just do everything in the front seat. They're not gonna have a lot of room.
It's kind of like a crossways, so it's not like this.
I got you.
It was just the way we planned it, and we were saying like it was interesting because like it's only a 2-seater. It's like it's only a 2-door. It's like it's very small. And it's like you know what? He's customized it, so set it back a bit more. So it's like there's a bit more room, because that's what I was looking at, like how the seats are. Like some of them, like on the custom seats, they're quite recessed back further than like just having a long boot. Like having a larger boot like this size. Some of them actually have like take it back up to where the wheels are actually halfway through. So you're actually up to here is where they get the the seat, rather than at the front over here, just in that area.
Well, let you know if let you know that usually the back seats fold down.
Right,
and you can make it opens up into the entire what we call a trunk, your boot.
Right.
So yeah, and it opens up so that if you had something bigger that you had to put into the back of the car, you could do it. So it's not beyond reason. It's just it's a little tight,
Yeah, it's interesting that like being a muscle car, you'd actually allow for a bit more room because the guys will be driving their chicks around, but. I guess maybe not, but yeah.
If
awesome.
Muscle car enthusiasts are like, there's a kit that I can buy for my car that absolutely deletes the back seat.
Okay.
Completely just gets rid of it. So I lose weight. I lose weight on the overall weight on the car. I don't have the back seat to worry about, and it's just so muscle cars, we don't, the guys don't really care who they're driving around. It's just they wanted to go. We're wanting to go fast, go in a straight line as fast as we possibly can, as cheaply as possible. So anyway, man, well, that's it for us, I guess, right?
That is it for us. Yeah. So yeah. All right, guys, thank you for joining us. Next week we have a guest. Next time we have a guest, which is like March 16th.
March 16th for you, 15th for me.
Yeah, 15th for you, 16th for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll have a guest called from Spectre. Was it like
Is it Spectre?
Yeah, Spectre's on. So because you asked, and I reached out, and he said, yeah.
Awesome, man. I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah, so Spectre is on.
Spectre Unlimited, I think is that correct? I can't remember.
Let me see. So. It is here. Let me just bring it up so I get his name right. So it's Spectre Creative.
Spectre Creative. Yeah.
So that's our fourth episode. And I'll put this in a link as in the chat so you guys can, if you're watching this, in 2 weeks' time, you can check out, and that'll be the next, the next episode. And like I said, we got a guest on, and then after that, we've got another guest on, and then after that, probably another guest on. So it'll be interesting having these, having the toy community come and be part of the show as well. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you, Vix, too. And on the way out, we'll play us our theme. Well, not so much our theme, but your little ad for your store.
That's right.
So
man.
wherever you are, guys, thank you for joining us. Be well, be safe, and like I always say, if you've got a loved one next to you and near you, give them a hug, give them a kiss, let them know you care. And if not, jump on Facebook or wherever on social media and let them know, send them a text message or something, because you don't know what someone's going through right now. It might, your word might be their moment that they need to hear something. Mm-hmm. So thank you for joining us. Vix, do you got anything to say before we
good night? Good night. God bless. People of the Panhandle in Texas, man, stay strong. We're going to be, everything's going to be good. We're going to get through this. So good night. God bless. See you next time.
All right. Thanks, guys.
1.21 gigawatts.
1.21 gigawatts. That is the name of my store. It's also the amount of electricity needed for time travel. And that's how you're going to feel when you step into my store. You're going to feel like you step back into 1985. My store is all about the comics, toys, and nostalgia. If you have that nostalgia itch that needs to be scratched, come to my store. It's on 601 North Main Street, Borger, Texas. Again, I am 1.21 gigawatts, comics, toys, and nostalgia. The greatest toy and comic shop in a 50-mile radius in the great panhandle of this great state of Texas.
1.21 gigawatts.
All right, man. That was it.